What's going on, guys? Dottz Gaming here, and today I have a bit of a different video for you guys. Haven't made one of these in a while, and it is a gold guide for the Elder Scrolls Online. So this is not any new cool secret way to make gold or anything crazy like that. People ask me constantly, what do I personally do to make gold? And that's what this video is going to cover. It's going to cover the 4 ways that Dottz Gaming primarily makes gold. Now, I am very lazy when it comes to making money in the game. I'm just going to be honest. I'm very lazy when it comes to that. So if it's not something that either doesn't take, that takes barely any time, or that isn't directly involved with me actually playing the game, I probably don't do it. I'm not a fan of taking time to go thieving. I'm not a fan of doing the farming runs anymore where I collect materials. I want to only do stuff that's going to actually come from playing the game, because I just want to play the game. I don't want to spend time specifically farming gold. So this is just what I personally do to make my money, and I'm in Cyrodiil for this first way, and that is turning the AP that I earn from PvP into gold. And there's multiple different ways that you can do it, but my favorite way is coming to the War Researcher in your home base. So depending on which faction you are, it's going to be in a different place, but for me it's the Northern Morrowind Gate as the Ebonheart Pact, and you want to come to the War Researcher and you want to talk to them and open their store. Now at this point you can buy any one of these motifs if you'd like to sell them. These are all good options depending on your server. Some are worth more money than others, but I mostly go for the Dawn Prism myself. Speaking of which, while we're here, let's buy some. I normally go for Dawn Prism and sell those. It's my favorite way of personally doing it, but depending on the prices of the motifs at the time, any of these Akaviri motifs are also a good option. You could also go to the various vendors inside of Cyrodiil and buy the specific gear, boxes. You know, you can get those gear boxes and you can go for try to go for gear that's going to sell really well on the Guild Trader. I would definitely look up the most common used sets that come from PvP, and like Fury is one of them, Warrior's Fury. You could always go buy the Warrior's Fury chest, try to farm some of those pieces out, and then sell those as well. Makes really good gold. So basically my first tip here is to turn your AP into something. So you basically have motifs, Dawn Prism, or you can go for specific gear pieces like Warrior's Fury and try to turn that into a profit. The next thing that I also like to do is turn my Telvar from PvPing in Imperial City into something else. So like you can probably see, I like turning currency or things that I get from already playing the game into things that will make gold. And my favorite thing to purchase is Hokkaijo. Hokkaijo sells, and speaking of which, apparently I could buy one. Hokkaijo sells incredibly well. I'm sure you've noticed if you play this game that the price of prismatic glyphs is doing nothing but going up, and Hokkaijo is one of the ingredients for those glyphs. It sells incredibly well for a very respectable amount of money. So I do have a farming guide for Imperial City on my YouTube channel, which I will link in the description below. So I would recommend coming to Imperial City, farming out some Telvar stones and purchasing a ton of Hokkaijo and selling them. You could also spend some money on the Apothecary Satchel if you want to. You could buy these and sell the herbs, but honestly my favorite thing is to just go straight into the Hokkaijo. It's not that expensive and it sells for a ton, so it's another way to make money through PvPing. Now, since this next way that I have involves being in a veteran DLC dungeon, in order to do this, I am just going to stand and dance on top of this box while I talk about it. The next thing that I like to do while I am PvEing is go for motifs from Vet DLC dungeons. And if you're a PvEer and really enjoy dungeons, then this is going to be a really good way for you to make money. And whenever I am doing PvE, this is always something that I look forward to because I know it will net me a little bit of gold. So the normal DLC dungeons do have a small chance to drop motifs off the final boss. The Vet has a higher chance to drop it, but if you complete Vet DLC dungeons on Veteran hard mode, you're guaranteed to get a really nice motif page at the end of that dungeon. So if dungeons are your thing and you really enjoy them and want to make gold through simply playing the game and not going out and farming and give yourself a bit of a challenge, doing the Veteran DLC dungeons is a really good way to make some gold, especially if you can complete them in hard mode. So while you're going for those achievements and trying to do stuff, you could also make some gold during that process, and is something that I like to do whenever I am PvEing. Now, the final way that I go about making gold, and arguably what I think is one of the best ways, is through doing writs. And if you are on PC, it becomes even easier if you use the Dolgeman's Lazy Writ Creator in order to do your writs. It makes them go incredibly fast. So writs generate actually quite a bit of gold over time. It's definitely a more long-term thing to do, and it's kind of like a trickle-in effect of gold over time, but it's a really good way, especially if you have multiple characters, to do this. It's one of the things that when I'm actually in the mood to do it, I will do it. If I actually do really need gold, I will get on my writ grind, and they're very, very good. So basically, you just do your writs every day, and I know some people might be saying, but Dottz, you don't really make that much gold from doing the writ quest. You have to use the materials. Is it even worth it over time? And it absolutely is. Between the chance for gold mats that you get from actually doing these writs, the chance for master writs that you can get, which you can sell on the guild traders, which, you know, will sell really, really well, especially if they have a ton of vouchers, and all of the surveys that you can get, all really, really will help you make gold, because you can basically go get those surveys, you'll get a huge amount of raw materials, and then you can refine those raw materials into refined materials, and during that refining process, you have a chance to get gold materials, which you can also sell if you so choose to, if you don't need any. So writs basically have, besides the gold generated from actually doing the quests across multiple characters, it gives you a chance for a lot of things that will sell for a high amount of gold. And if you do this across multiple characters, that chance just increases. So as you can see, I just got, you know, 2k gold from doing you know, only 3 writs. I didn't even do all 6. I got a survey, which I'm going to go do for some materials. I can sell these intricate items on the guild trader if I want to, as well as vendor these Ancestor Silk gloves for some extra gold. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot on the surface, but once you get these refined materials, like I said, start refining them, get tempers, get rosin, get all these other things that do sell for a high amount of money. Or if you do get master writs, you can also sell those for a lot of money. It can turn into a lot of gold very quickly, especially, like I said, if you have multiple characters. Doing these across all those characters will net you a fair chunk of change over time. So that's actually going to be it for me today, guys. I know this was a bit on the quicker side, but I just wanted to go over the ways that I personally go about making gold. I do get asked about it quite a lot, so I felt that it was a good time to put out a video like this. And like I said, the majority of the things that I like to do for making gold are either stuff that doesn't take a lot of time, like writs, or things that I can just do from playing the game. Like I said, I don't like to take specific time and go out and farm, or go out and specifically try to make gold. So doing passive ways like this are personally my favorite. So if you guys liked this video and found it helpful, I would appreciate if you smacked a like on it. Any questions about anything that I do, feel free to leave a comment below. And for more great gaming content, please hit that sub button, as well as hit the bell to keep notifications on. So thank you all so much for stopping by. Appreciate it very much. As always, I'm Dottz Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next one.